Hey gang, Spacetime Badass here. So, first and foremost, I've got a recent jump in subscribers, so special thanks to all you guys who just started subscribing very recently. I'm pretty close to 200 now, and it seems like I'm getting from 100 to 200 faster than I got from 0 to 100, so hopefully it continues to progress in that way, and of course, as always, thank you veteran subscribers as well. Views are doing good. I'll expect to hit 10,000 somewhat soon, and really I owe that all to you guys. It doesn't really seem like a lot in the grand scheme of YouTubers, but it's a lot for me, and I greatly appreciate it, and appreciate you guys, watching and sharing and, everything that you guys do. So today, I noticed another trend, and every time I sort of notice trends in the lucid dreaming community, on like message boards and on YouTube, if I see one topic that sort of sticks out to me as something that people need a little bit of clarification on or a little more understanding with, then I like to make a video about that and to try to keep this channel as relevant as possible and do as much good with it, with lucid dreaming, as I possibly can. So this time I want to specifically talk about the subconscious. Subconscious is a really big thing in lucid dreaming, and it's a really big thing in life, whether you realize that or not. So without further ado, lucid dreaming, lucid dreaming, demystifying the subconscious. So more often than not, the subconscious mind is seen as this mysterious place where we can't ever know what's going on there, and there's no way that we can kind of curb or direct it in any way. And this just isn't true. A specific post that sticks out to me recently on the lucid dreaming subreddit was someone who said that their subconscious was trying to trick them, because they would get very close to lucid dreaming and they would see resistance, or they would become lucid and their dream characters would want to act against them. But specifically, the main concern there is your view of the subconscious mind. And keep in mind, the subconscious is yourself. It's a part of you, much like your conscious mind. And the goal here is to integrate your subconscious mind with your conscious mind as much as is humanly possible, and a lot of these resistances are going to disappear for you. The main concern with that really is, why should you immediately go to the idea that your subconscious is trying to trick you, where you'll have a non-lucid dream that's talking about lucid dreaming, when really, in all actuality, this is progress. If you're having dreams that even mention lucid dreaming, or the fact that maybe this could be a dream, even if you don't become lucid, lucidity is really the next step. It's the next thing coming. So you're making progress with all of your efforts, and I don't want to see that person or anyone else become discouraged when they see that progress and interpret it as something else. So, excuse me. So, that's a big thing, is your perception of your subconscious and what you expect. Why should you feel like you're at odds with yourself? Why would you assume that your subconscious would want to trick you? Why would you want to trick yourself? You wouldn't. You're working together, and really it's all just a process, because on lucid dreaming, like your conscious mind is like here. It's like, I am ready to lucid dream, and your subconscious is kind of down here, not quite ready or not quite fully grasping the concept or idea of lucid dreaming, not having been exposed to lucid dreaming information enough to retain a lot of that so that it can catch up. So there is a bit of a catch up. There's lag time. When you are mentally, consciously ready, it takes a lot of work then to make your subconscious become as ready as your conscious and kind of match up in that way. And obviously you always do the standard things. You want to keep a dream journal to increase your dream recall, and as well to keep down dream signs, things like that. You want to do your reality checks as often as is comfortable and possible for you to do in your waking life every day. And you want to employ your lucid dreaming technique at night, every night. Some people say that they can't do it every night, and obviously we can understand that. A lot of things go on in life. You don't necessarily have time to do all of the techniques, which is why I suggest mild over everything else, because everyone wants to try wild. As I said in my last video, everyone wants to try wild, and of course it's very interesting. But where you're going to see the most progress when you're first starting out is with mild, because it doesn't take that long. You just do your affirmations, 5 to 10 minutes, less if you want, just do your affirmations. It's just important that you're doing them, and then go to sleep. It takes practically no time at all. You can do it for as long as you want, as short as you want. Just do it every night so that it's in your head, and expect to dream, because lucid dreaming is all in your expectations as well. If you go to sleep hoping you'll lucid dream, you're less likely than if you go to sleep knowing you'll lucid dream. So kind of got a little bit sidetracked there, but that's basically why I want to kind of talk about this. So as I said before, the goal is to integrate your subconscious mind into your conscious mind as much as possible, kind of matching them up and becoming a more integrated person, a more complete person. I've gotten to a point recently in my lucid dreams where I can talk to my dream characters about lucid dreaming, and it's kind of like tongue-in-cheek. It's like there's this expectation of how things should be in a dream, and it's just kind of a farce. It's almost like playing, poking fun at the idea that my dream characters would be against me lucid dreaming at this point, because I've become integrated to a point where I know that it's a dream, my subconscious knows that I know that it's a dream, and we're more working together instead of like being at odds and just kind of butting heads on that. So how do I do this? What I do basically is I pay attention to my dreams a lot. I interpret them as much as is possible. I believe that the only person qualified to interpret dreams is the person who dreamt that dream. And I think you should keep that in mind and try to get to the bottom of everything that is going on in your dreams. I communicate with my subconscious. There's a couple of methods I use to do that. Obviously, when you do mnemonic-induced lucid dreaming, mild, you're actually communicating with your subconscious and that, saying that, I'll realize when I'm dreaming. I want to realize when I'm dreaming, and that kind of helps match that up and get that sunk in your subconscious so that it'll start to move in that direction as well. Another one that I've been playing around with a lot as of the past few months is automatic writing. If you don't know what automatic writing is, you can look it up. It's basically if you've ever seen The Sixth Sense, if you put pen to paper and just begin writing and don't pay attention to what you're writing, that's basically automatic writing. But it's more so like putting that pen to paper as you would put your fingers on a planchet for like a Ouija board. So if you've ever used one of those, you'll put your fingers on it and just kind of allow them to move rather than direct it, and kind of not pay a lot of focus to it, just allow it to happen. And as we all know, that like your hand will just go to these things subconsciously. Like there are people who believe that Ouija boards are the real deal and you're communicating with spirits. I'm not saying that can or can't happen, but I'm saying personally I believe that most of the time when that's occurring, it's your subconscious kind of moving it and communicating with you in this way. So, and I've played with Ouija boards for many years. I have a lot of experience with that just because I think it's really interesting and it's a good novelty if nothing else. I don't put a whole lot of stock in it. And then after that I began to do automatic writing for pretty much the same purpose for several years, just kind of for fun. And as of the past few months, I'll do it with the intention of speaking with my subconscious and communicating things. Now bear in mind this is a really crude method to use it with, or reason to use it for. It's not like you can have like a full drawn out conversation with your subconscious. What works best is yes and no answers, or like simple things that might have like a two word answers. You can't ask a paragraph question and expect as much given back to you. A lot of the times if you do this and you'll just kind of let it go, whatever way it feels like it's going, just let your hand go. But mainly what I've done is I've communicated to my subconscious with the intent, like my subconscious, saying, you know, I'd like to lucid dream tonight. Is there anything standing in the way between me and lucid dreaming? Do I already know what this is? Basic yes and no questions. It may sound really silly, but I just advise you to try that, because in the past few months, the progress that I've seen with this is just phenomenal. And I attribute this practice with being the reason for this mutual understanding with lucid dreaming with my dream characters. We're on the same page now, and that's really how I always try to describe it. Be on the same page as your subconscious. Be on the same team. And when your subconscious and you are on the same team, you're not going to see these problems where you're losing the dream, where dream characters don't want you to acknowledge that you're lucid dreaming. There's a plethora of issues that can arise between the subconscious and the conscious mind, but if you're working on integrating them, then progress is going to be had, and it's great, and there's room for a lot of amazing experiences with it. Another thing is, in lucid dreaming, if you're still getting these issues with your subconscious mind, what you need to bear in mind is that, again, your subconscious is you. Everything that you are interacting with in a dream is you. Like yourself in the dream, inanimate objects, people, the weather, forces, ideas, etc., they're all you. So a lot of the time people will mess things up for themselves in their lucid dreams. And we are in a world of the mind. So if you fuck something up in a dream, expect it to fuck something up in your waking life. And when I say that, I mean if you're in your brain and you're just pulling out wires and you're, you know, pushing buttons and flicking switches, expect something to happen there. I can't tell you how many times when I was starting out that I was either violent or sexual or overall just not paying attention and not realizing the implications that my actions would have on my subconscious mind when I had these experiences in dreams. And I've had to play a lot of catch up because of that. I've had to smooth things over, because you are a person and your subconscious is you again. and I almost kind of view it as somewhat of a separate person. While it is you and it has all of the same ideas and qualities as you, you can treat it as if you would treat yourself as an external person. And the only thing is that the inhibitions and all of the stuff that we learn to filter out in our waking life and put certain ideas to rest and do other things, and, you know, excuse me, like if there's something that is against our better judgment, we're not gonna do the thing that's against our better judgment, but our subconscious mind is the place where these ideas originate. So if you're constantly like batting that aside, etc., like it's still there underneath the surface, and these are issues that you need to deal with. So another thing that I think you should do, if you want to integrate your subconscious and your conscious mind as much as possible, is to pay attention to issues that arise in your dreams, and as well when you're awake. If you're getting these ideas, these thoughts, these issues that you're just kind of ignoring, don't ignore them. Pay attention to them and solve these issues. But yeah, treating yourself kindly in dreams is going to be one of the biggest things you can do to help your situation with this. Because if you're killing, if you're hurting, if you're raping, if you're doing whatever, you're doing that to your subconscious mind, and you have feelings. Your subconscious mind has your feelings, so it's going to make your subconscious feel a certain way when you do this, and that's going to cause this resistance. I don't know how many times I've said it, and people think I'm crazy when I talk to lucid dreamers about this, but I see a lot of progress with this, and it's because of my attention to my subconscious that I have this progress. If you don't believe it, if you don't believe that what you do in your dreams affects your mind, then you're clearly mistaken, and the evidence of your mistakenness is going to be how everything reacts in your dreams. If you're lacking control, if you are just constantly getting these undesirable dream characters or undesirable consequences when you try things, then clearly something's at fault here. And a lot of the time in lucid dreams, if you meet resistance, it's because there is an underlying issue mentally going on. Not to say that you have mental problems, but there's something standing in the way. And in order to progress with lucid dreaming, you need to deal with issues. That's what I love about lucid dreaming, is that it forces you to see yourself, and it gives you perspective, and it allows you to see issues that you might not have been seeing before, and brings them to the surface so that you can deal with the issues and progress further. So really, I view lucid dreaming with this goal in mind of integrating the subconscious. Lucid dreaming is at its fullest when your subconscious mind and your conscious mind are at their least state of burden. So anything you can do to release the burden in your own mind, emotions, so on, basically grow as a person. The more you do this and the more effort you put into it, the better your lucid dreaming is going to be, and the better and the more rich your waking life is going to be as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, basically. So automatic writing, I think you should try that. Dream interpretation. Just overall, just try to communicate to yourself and to your subconscious what you want, and any and every opportunity that you get, be kind to yourself in waking life, and especially in dreams and lucid dreams. Violence and that sort of thing overall is just not going to help you with lucid dreaming. Anyone who tries lucid dreaming and wants to further it without growing as a person, you're going to see a lot of trouble. Ultimately, this is, I think, what it's for: to grow and learn and continue the cycle over again. It's a constant evolutionary cycle where you'll have something where you'll have some issue that you need to deal with. You deal with that issue, you grow, and then you're giving these really powerful experiences until a point comes where you see another issue, and you just got to keep pulling these issues out like weeds. It's a lot like meditation in this way. But mainly, I just wanted to tell you guys that, and let you know that you can know your subconscious. There are parts of yourself in there that you might not know yet, but when you take the time to get to know it, you know yourself more, you know your subconscious more, you know what to expect and how to deal with any issues that could arise if they're superficial rather than life decision issues and things like that. If it's purely resistance in a dream that's like very minor and is not, you're certain is not due to an underlying issue that you need to deal with in your life, you'll know how to deal with that a little bit better as well. You'll be able to be more real with your subconscious and lucid dreams. Whereas, like for instance, when I started, like the idea of telling my dream characters that I was dreaming, it was unheard of. Like if I say that, the dream's gonna end, they're gonna not believe it, you know, there's a whole multitude of things that could happen. I've had like friends in real life as well as friends and people that I've talked to online who've had this issue where their subconscious becomes violent when they say, you know, I'm dreaming, you're a dream character. But now I'm to a point where it's like, hey, I'm dreaming, you're a dream character. They're like, yeah, what's up? It's just like pure communication, and the dreams feel like complete in and of themselves, like a lot of purpose, if that makes sense. So yeah. And also, if you make yourself any promises or anything like that, keep them, you know. This is something that sounds simple, it sounds silly, but I encourage every lucid dreamer to do this and get on the same page as your subconscious, and when you are, the results will speak for themselves. Otherwise, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, share, etc. I'm Space Type Badass. Take it easy.